Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and it's August 25th when I am recording this. So if you find this at a different date, the exotic may be different. As of today, it is exotic arms, which all 3 new exotics for Season of the Witch are gauntlets. Now that doesn't mean I won't do future exotic videos. I probably won't do one every 4 days, but this is the first time, so I figured I'd throw this out here for you guys. It's a good Friday, and then we'll cover a quick Xur video at the end, just in case there's anything highlightable. If not, we'll skip it. But you got Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. You got a threat of Void, so Void damage from the Ogres and the boss, and then also the Shrieker. Pretty painful, so not a bad way to support that. Shields are going to be Arc. Having a way to deal with Arc shields will speed things up. So we've got a couple ways to do this. You're going to want Unstop for the Ogres. So Unstop, your main option is either going to be Scout Rifle or Fusion Rifle. Kind of completely your call. I've got a Glissando here that I kind of enjoy using from range, so I'm going to run with that. If you wanted to use something like Riptide, totally could do that as well. Really, honestly, completely your call, but it is a Strand Surge or an Arc Surge, so I'm kind of leaning into that for the damage. For a barrier weapon, you can either go Piercing Bowstring, which your bow will do, or you can go Auto Rifle. Honestly, I kind of wanted to do the bow, but the delay between drawing the bow back, if you're not like perfect or you gotta hide, it's harder to keep the shots on. So what I'm actually gonna do is gonna go Auto Rifle. This is centrifuged from last season. Even anything like Come to Pass would work. I'm just using this because it's a higher level. And then whatever you want to use, I'm just leaning into Strand a little bit on this one because it allows me to, you know, do damage to bosses and champions when I need to. If you had something Arc, totally could go with that. I would stick to the Surges though. And then for your resistance, you're gonna see a decent amount of Arc, but honestly, you might go triple Void if you want to. If you want to do something at range, you could do that as well, depending on what mods you want to mess with here. So if you want to do something like Sniper, that's going to be enemies from long range, could be a good thing. Right now I'm just doing double Void and Arc. Just play it safe, and if you got a couple deaths, it's not the end of the world. My previous... Oh my god, I basically got a god roll. Burning Maul and Consecration create Flame Cyclones, and I got a Resilience, Recovery, Discipline, Strength. I'm like, I'm good here. This was my first drop that I got, like, my previous run, so I'm going to take that one. I got it on my first run through the Lost Sector. I know not everybody does, but it always feels like first time I seem to do a Lost Sector and get an exotic drop, it tends to be the newer one this season. So hopefully you guys have the luck that I do. But that all being said, let's jump in. I'll show you how Legend works. If you want to run Master, you can, but there's no real benefit right now. And as we're a little lower level, Legend's probably easier to farm. So here we go. All right, so when you start, we're going to have a few enemies right up here coming in. Centrifuge isn't bad, actually, so once you start getting some kills and bullets out there, you'll actually be able to lean into it a little more. Probably would be better to go with an amplified kind of Arc subclass for this weapon, but at least this way I'll show you if, you know... No, actually, I'm running Arc on this one, I forgot. I was bouncing back and forth between Arc and Strand. But if you're going to run something like this, you could run Arc. If you're running something else... it's just going to make things reasonable with an auto rifle, and it's mostly the barrier champions. Like, Trinity Ghoul is great for clearing ads, do not get me wrong. It's actually a pretty solid weapon at it, too, when you start really getting some of the chains going on. But just the barrier champions with a bow, I wish it was just a little better. Like, a bow would give a bit more of a delay, but the way the champions work, they don't program them by weapon you hit them with. So I'm going to hit him with that. And then as soon as he goes, we're going to go for the auto rifle. And it's just easier to plink him because you got to hit him twice with a bow unless you're hitting him with like Wish Ender. If you want to bring Wish Ender here for a barrier weapon, by all means, that'll actually probably be a lot of fun. But for now, just having fun with this one probably will work. And the main thing is I've got a scout rifle for the Shriekers and then ranged moments if I need it. So again, here you're going to have some ads that spawn up. Don't run past this box, otherwise you'll get the... joys of the Shrieker coming your way. And if you can jump on the box and kind of keep him occupied down here, might be a way to do that. Trying not to burn to death over here. He's going to pop a shield. Now here's a point where if he pops a shield and I can go for a kill, I'll probably switch this out and do that. Make things a little simpler. The faster you can kill that barrier knight, especially if you don't take off the Shrieker who's back there, and if you can kill him before he jumps over here, makes life easier. Alright, so now you got to make sure you get a little bit of cover. And you want to keep your audio decent so you know the sound effects, so you're between rounds that it's shooting you. Because it doesn't really miss and it hurts. It's probably the worst part for Void. The Ogres, you can be a little aggressive and it would probably be alright. Here, usually what I will do is I will jump across, touch this platform to get the guys to spawn, and then I'll pull back to cover, pull out something like my scout rifle, so I can plink away at these guys from range. This one does have hatchling on it, so I'm just going to go send my hatchlings out there, or the threadlings, to go take care of others. Just give yourself a little cover. And again, once you get up here, then you can kind of work with what it gives you. So, scout rifle for most of this. Hatchling's not a bad thing to have, because then you can send that after the big knight up there, and that's probably going to hurt him a little more. Shields dropped. He'll die pretty quick. You've got the few shields, you can break them with an auto rifle and then plink them, depending on if you're close or far. Again, I'm showing this as a really cautious run. I know not everybody has centrifuge, but if you're playing right now, I'm kind of guessing you were playing last season. Just a guess, so you probably have that. But an arc auto rifle, an arc bow is probably less what I would recommend, mostly just because. Now, if you do kill all of the enemies in an area, you're going to spawn the ogre. Kind of like you can see him over there. When you spawn him, you want to make sure you've got some cover to work with. Now, I'm back here. The thing to know about Unstoppables, if you haven't watched one of my videos before, when you line of sight an Unstoppable, they won't really chase you if you are not in their line of sight when they pop out of cover. So if you want to do this slow from range, it's going to be a bit of a process. Might want to wait till he turns around. If you want to go for a machine gun, it's probably less effective at this range. Not where I thought that rocket was going to go. That's cute. At least you're safe back here, though, but it is a little on the tedious side. So to avoid anything above you, this is a nice place to stand for cover. But again, if you're just doing this solo, you're a little early in the season, not really comfortable farming these things, this is not going to be the fastest farming setup, but it is going to help you survive. That's the whole goal of these videos, is helping you guys survive. Bust that one. So again, if you're running like Centrifuge, Arc is probably going to be your better way to go, just to take advantage of, obviously, the amplified buffs, which this thing really likes. Go grab some ammo. Take care of that guy. Then up top, you're going to have some fun. Now, usually what I will do, I try not to get the ogre spawned, but I did. It's not a big deal if you do, but he's just a little harder to hit from that angle. If you go up here, you'll have access to everything else over there, but all just kind of depends on what's up here. You got guys on the stairs, be careful. Kind of plinking these guys down just to see who's around. Seems like that guy's down. Ogre's going to be over there, but we've got this side over here to deal with. If the ogre doesn't march around the corner, which sometimes he will do. Yeah, those are still good. Did I not kill him with any of those? Yeah, I didn't technically kill anybody with those, but... usually a good time for a grenade. Gonna have our unstoppable champion come out when this guy dies, so be ready for it. Just know that he will absolutely mess you up. The Void Beam here with the threat on is going to be the one that hurts. Now, if he is marching around to me, that will be interesting. So that's kind of why you got to watch your cover, depending on where those guys are at. Then if he gets, if he's about to, wake up again, back off for a second, give a chance for his back to calm down, and you can stun him again. Unstoppables are probably the easiest. Unless they just catch you off guard, they really are the easiest to manage. It's just trying to make sure you understand their mechanics a little bit, when to get in cover, when to line of sight them, that type of stuff really helps. I got the ogre over there now. I'm going to throw a grenade on him, try and get that to work. So I'm just going to wait a little bit till he goes quiet mode and should be able to finish him up. And they usually got a couple stragglers up here. Almost always if they didn't hop down. Alright, grab any ammo you got before you break the crystal. If you're in good shape as possible. This is usually a really good place to sit for cover. Gotta break this last crystal. Then we got this one to break. And then he will be free. So, I usually throw a grenade, kind of get that part started. I'm not as worried about him to start. Who I'm really looking for is our barrier champion. That's our main goal first. So see what you can clear out so you got a little better shot, and then figure out who's wandering what direction. If you can get an angle on the barrier without getting nuked too hard by the ogre, like I'm kind of doing here with like line of sight on him. Alright, barrier's down. That is your last champion. On Legend, it's your last one. On Master, you'll have a couple more. You'll have another barrier, that kind of thing. And now you can just do this however you want. Like, I've got a super, so I could use this thing to put a chunk out of him. If you die, it's not the end of the world. Promise. And then it's just patience to take him out. Find cover where you can. Once you do enough damage, you'll have a few more ads that you can see showed up. So when all the ads start coming in, oof, hurts. So yeah, if you do enough damage, you'll pull, like, a couple waves of ads will spawn. And then if you can ever line of sight him, it's actually really nice. It's hard to find the right angles that'll let you do that. Every so often you can, though. You got a couple snipers. Watch out for those, depending on where your angles are. Usually 2. Right now we got 1 to work with. And if you get a good angle, put in some heavy work. Again, doing enough damage, you notice there's some jolting going on over to my right. There's a lot of enemies that spawn, so if you're going for like a flawless, that's more of a master thing, but if you are going for one of those, I love messing with them. Remember, you get any red bar to half health, you can usually do a finisher on them, so don't forget. And then we'll get an easy finish on them. There you go. Now, you may have some more stuff that spawns, so just be careful. You likely are not alone, because there's always this, like, last wave. So if you're on, like, a timer, you don't want that last guy to get you. So just be aware that there could be 1 or 2 more acolytes, a few more ads that do spawn in. But kind of like a machine gun here for a little bit of this. You've got multiple ads to kill. You don't have to kill the acolyte. They do eventually despawn. I was just trying to do it for speed. So that's it. That is K1 Revelation in Season of the Witch for August 25th, which should be getting you some exotic arms. Now, I got them on my last run, so I didn't expect to get them back to back, but now they got more space for prisms, and we know cores have some use. Spending some time to farm this stuff is actually a pretty good idea. So let's get back to Orbit, and we'll wrap it up. So that pretty much wraps it up for K1 Revelation. Remember, you got Barrier, however you want to do it, it's up to you. You got bows, you got auto rifles, you got things like Wish Ender. You got Unstoppable, which right now is going to be, you know, your Scouts, your Malfeasance, you got your different options. And then the threat is Void, being as you got the Ogres and the Shrieker. I would definitely make sure you have some resistance to that. And if you do have something for the Arc Shields, there's not a ton of them, so I wouldn't worry if that's like, you know, a thing that comes up. It's not a big deal as much anymore since shields can be hit by everything pretty reasonably. Overall, a little patience in here, and you should be able to complete it as many times as you need to. And hopefully today, at least on August 25th, you get some arms. Find it at a later date in the future. Remember, it could be a different exotic because they go through rotations, but at least the guide should help you. Enjoyed this one, drop a like below. You can find me on Twitch or Twitter at Ebontis. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. Always helps my videos make it to you if they hit that alert bell. And if you want to support me even further, you always can if you want to be a channel member, or find me my Patreon at Ebontis as well. Thank you all very much. I'll see you soon.